Hey, this is Justin Branham from MasterFiddle.com, and in this lesson we're going to learn the Texas style or contest style fiddle tune progression in the key of G on the mandolin. I've got my KR Strings Mandolindo here. This is a 4-string acoustic mandolin, and it fits the bill of a tenor guitar sort of substitute really well because of the 4 strings. Sounds very similar. And I also use it for all my electric, Western Swing, Tiny Moore, Johnny Gimbal mandolin stuff when I want that acoustic sound. So really cool instrument. And I'm going to play you what we're going to work on. This is going to basically be like a tenor guitar progression. Jerry Thomason, the son of the great fiddle player Benny Thomason, who was one of the founders of this style of fiddle, created a backup on the tenor guitar, and that's what we're going to copy for the mandolin. So here it goes. Okay, our first chord is this basic open G here. And I'm going to do bass note strum. You can just strum each chord if you want to. So sometimes when I actually play this, with a fiddle player, I'll do a bass note strum, and then sometimes I'll just do 2 strums in a row. So something like that maybe. Our next chord is this G with a B in the bass. So this is just an inversion of G. Same chord, just a different bass note. And then I'm going to go to this C chord. So now we've got G, G with a B in the bass, C, and then a C sharp diminished. Now that's a passing chord to take us back to a G major chord. So I'm going to play that and then go back to my open G chord here. And then I'm going to go back to that G with the B in the bass. So the basic progression is just G, C, G, and then we go to D right here. But I'm using inversions. And then this passing chord, this passing diminished chord, C sharp diminished, to get back to G. So inversion. And now instead of going straight to D, I'm going to go to E flat with a B flat in the bass. It's the 5th of the chord in the bass. So it's a half step shift down to my target chord, which is D with an A in the bass. Okay, and that's half of the progression. So let's try that much of it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. G, G with the B in the bass. C, C sharp diminished. G, G with the B in the bass. E flat with the B flat in the bass. D with an A in the bass. We're going to do all that again. Now right here, after the C sharp diminished, instead of going back to G, we're going to go up to this D right here. Okay? And then this is an E flat 7 with the 7th in the bass, which is a D flat, to a D7 with the 7th in the bass, which is a C. And this is basically just a measure and a half of D to G, but we're going to do D. This is like a half step shift, but it doesn't sound like one because we're having our bass line move down because of these inversions. So I put the 7th of the chord in the bass, which is a half step down from my root of this D chord. Then D7 with the C in the bass keeps that moving down. So instead of it sounding like I'm going up, which is technically what's happening, it sounds like it's moving down. And then I'm going to end on my inversion here. This is the G with the B in the bass. And this also copies a lot of the bass line that I use in the guitar video for this progression as well. Now I just posted a fiddle tune lesson for a tune called Bitter Creek, and this progression works with that. It also works with Leather Britches. I'd work with Sally Johnson. Work with Bitter Creek, like I said. That's the Whoa Mule would be another one. And just as an aside, you can see this mandolindo is really great for playing these fiddle tunes, especially Texas style fiddle tunes. and keeping a lot of the fiddle flavor because it feels more like a fiddle because you don't have the two strings. So picking is a little bit different, and phrasing and all that stuff is a little bit more like an electric instrument, really, which lets you get closer to kind of that fiddle phrasing. So that's our G progression for Texas style backup on the mandolin, which is very similar to tenor guitar. I'll play through it one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.